Hello dear students, welcome to this class of MA Final, paper 5th B, that is American Literature. I am Dr. S.S.Vaidwan, Department of English, and dear students, today we'll talk about a beautiful poem by Emily Dickinson, and the title of this poem is A Bird Came Down the Walk. This poem, it was published in 1891 in the second collection of Dickinson's poems, and it was published after her death when her younger sister she discovered the treasure of her writings, and it was later published in the second collections of Emily Dickinson's poems in 1891. The poem uh, it is it focuses on a small creature, a bird, and Dickinson she describes the bird as it comes in the garden, but the choice of words in this poem, as after a short while we will read the text, uh, we'll come to know, it makes the poem a memorable experience. The poem it focuses on the separation between the worlds of man and nature, that is the human world and the natural world. And Dickinson she has beautifully described both the worlds, and she has tried to delineate the world of man and nature. Uh, the poem develops the theme of nature's indifference by including other questions of fear and struggle, that is how in nature the bird struggles and how in nature man struggles. The poem, if we put it, shows the arrival of a bird on its routine walk on land, and the bird it was unaware of the presence of the speaker, who is very closely observing her. The bird it cut the angleworm in halves and started eating it raw. Unlike human, it is totally identified with the nature and is extremely hostile to the worm which it eats. Because the Indian saying of Jeev Jeevasya Bhojanam is aptly true here, as the bird it has to satisfy its hunger and it eats the worm. So we can say that the bird it quenched its thirst by drinking the dew in the second stanza when we come, which was easily available on the blades of the grass. The bird suddenly jumped aside to the wall to let the beetle cross without offering any obstruction or resistance. Again, how these birds and other natural insects they are behaving. It is politely indifferent to the beetle. This murderous act humanizes the little creature as man often does. So we can say that this particular poem it depicts the natural world very closely, and it also reveals how minutely uh, Dickinson she observed the nature. In the next stanza, that is the third stanza, we can say that the bird looked round very rapidly in panic, and the bird its eyes looked like frightened beads. So we can say that the natural habitat is being attacked, and the speaker praises the beauty of the bird under stress. So the observation of Emily Dickinson we can say it also depicts the fear in the eyes of the bird, the fear and the danger. How the bird's sense of fear and danger is intensified with intervention of the speaker. The fourth stanza, dear students, it shows that the speaker is moved by the plight of the bird. He offers it crumbs of bread to appease its fear of being cornered and to satiate its hunger. The speaker finds herself as a danger to the bird, and the bird is about to flee. The fifth stanza, the final stanza, it shows the motion of the bird when it flutters its wing, and it may be compared to that of the oars rowing a boat. The speaker's final bid to identify with the bird fails in the end, and the bird departs into the ocean of air. It flies away, and the speaker, he abstains from other things rowing on the ocean and sees the butterflies as swimming. The culmination of this poem, the poem, it ends, shows the butterflies jumping majestically off sun's hot sands into the coolness of the sky, we can say. And in this way, we can say that the poet Emily Dickinson, she has very beautifully in these five stanzas expressed the beauty of the bird, the struggle, the hunger, and also how the different nature, that is the human nature and the animal or the natural world, it is different from each other. Dear students, let us now try to understand the poem by reading it aloud. So, let us read the poem. A bird came down the walk, and the writer is Emily Dickinson. A bird came down the walk. He did not know I saw. He bit an angleworm in halves, and are the fellow raw, and ate the fellow raw. So the first stanza, it refers to the arrival of the bird for a walk, and how the bird, it tears apart an angleworm into two and eats it raw. And then he drank a dewdrop on the blades of grass from a convenient grass. And then he hopped sidewise to the wall. So look how minutely Dickinson has observed the bird hopping sideways to the wall to let a beetle pass, and then she let a beetle pass. He glanced with rapid eyes that hurried all around. So, how the minute observation of Emily Dickinson shows us the beetle and how the eyes glanced rapidly. They looked like frightened beads. I thought. He stirred his velvet head. So the soft head. He stirred his velvet head. Now, this third stanza, let us look at the third stanza. Like one in danger, cautious, I offered him a crumb. This is the offering made by the poet, that I offered a crumb And he unrolled his feathers and rowed him softer home than oars divide the ocean. So the bird is not interested in the crumb, and it flew away, flirting its wings into the sky of into the sky. Two silver for a seam, or butterflies off banks of noon leap plashes as they swim. So the butterflies without making any noise, that is, the word used here is plushes, meaning without making any noise, and they fly away because, dear students, you might have observed that a butterfly, it doesn't make any noise of fluttering. Very swiftly it flies from one flower to another. And banks of noon, dear students, it refers to the sun's hot sands. I hope you have understood the poem. Dear students, we'll continue with another poem by Emily Dickinson in the next video. Thank you very much.